Well, hello everyone, Dog Walker Dave here. Today on the channel, I'm going to be reviewing the Tomir from the shoe company NNormal. Now, a lot of people, probably a large majority of the people, have never heard of the shoe brand NNormal. It's a shoe brand or shoe company that has been started by the primary person that a lot of people would be familiar with if they are an ultra runner or know anything about the ultra running community is a guy by the name of Kilian Jornet. And he was a Solomon athlete for the longest time. He started the shoe company along with, I would imagine, some other investors. So Kilian branched off from Solomon and basically started his own shoe company with a focus on trail running. They have no offerings for the road as of yet. They have two models. This is the Tomir. There's another model called the Chirag. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, and that's meant for more racing. This is an all-purpose shoe. Over the course of the next few minutes, I'm going to go over my thoughts and opinions on this offering from NNormal. I've headed out for a few runs already, and I'm going to tell you what I like about them and maybe a couple things that I don't like about them, so stick around. Just one other thing to mention about this shoe company, if this means anything to you, that NNormal is a B certified corporation, as well as a 1% for the planet. So if you're not sure what that means, it's basically, if you think about Patagonia, they are committed to being good, if not great, environmental stewards. First of all, I'm gonna go over some of the quick specs on it. Has a 8mm drop EVA midsole, 31 in the heel, 23 in the forefoot, makes for an 8mm drop. It's claimed to have a very durable upper made of monofilament. And if you're not sure what monofilament is, I remember when I used to fish when I was younger, and the fishing line is actually made of monofilament. It has a great rubber toe bumper and lots of protection on overlays in the forefoot here that continue all the way around the midsole and even back to the heel counter. Continues all along here. It has an offset lacing, which I've only ever had in one pair of running shoes. That was back in the mid 1990s. Asics had a pair of, I don't know if they were DS trainers, one of the original DS trainers, but Asics had a shoe with a similar lacing pattern. And what it supposedly does is alleviate pressure on the top of your foot by putting it a little bit off to the side. Has a very comfortable suede-ish tongue that's minimally padded, but it actually is very comfortable. And it also has a semi-gusset to it. And lastly, where the rubber hits the road, well, not road, the trail. These things are rocking the Vibram Mega Grip light base. I know it's a handful, but Vibram are known to make fantastic outsoles. This is a 5mm outsole, and it is very grippy. Oh, it is very nice to have. I sure wish other shoe companies would adopt this outsole by Vibram, Nike, because Vibram, they're just known to have great outsoles. Now, one of the claims that Kilian has made about his NNormal running shoes is that he has put 1,600 kilometers on a pair of his shoes. He was using one pair of shoes back in the early summer, and with those shoes, now, I don't really think it matters what shoe he was wearing, but Kilian won the Hard Rock 100, which is a very technical and difficult mountain running 100-mile race down in Colorado. And he also wore the same shoe in a shorter Sierra Zinal, I believe it was. He also wore it in around a marathon distance mountain run. And I believe he used the same shoe for UTMB, which is 107-ish miles run that goes around Mont Blanc in Europe. So hey, if they're good enough for Kilian, pretty sure they're good enough for me and just about everybody else out there. Well, what are my initial impressions? When I round the shoe, they are very stiff torsionally, even bending it this way. When you pick them up and you put them on your feet and you think, oh, I don't know about this, because it's hard to gauge, because a shoe like this, they're only available online. You can't try them in a store. I know they had booths set up at UTMB so you could actually try them on your feet, but I just straight out bought them from the Canadian website. and they seem very stiff torsionally, which is twisting this way, but also bending it. Feet seem very stiff, but when you put them on your feet and you're running on the trail, they actually feel very nice. For these, the absolutely biggest pro for my foot is, I know it sounds something very simple, but the upper around the heel counter does not come up very high. So it sits right underneath my lateral malleolus, also known as my ankle bone, and I find it extremely comfortable. It's nice low profile. Even though your foot is nicely placed in there and you think that it might be too low and your foot's gonna slip out, I don't find that the case. I find this low cut around the heel counter here just absolutely brilliant, and I wish more companies would adopt this. I know some companies may be thinking that, well, a little bit higher up is gonna secure your ankle a little bit better, but for someone like me, I had to return a pair of very popular trail running shoes by another manufacturer because I found that this was cutting into my foot immediately. But for these, they fit so nice around my heel and they go right underneath my ankle, and there's not going to be a concern with running any long distances in them. So that's my initial thoughts on the Tomir from NNormal. Are they a perfect running shoe? No, I don't think there's such thing as a perfect running shoe, but these are very nice to run in, very grippy, very stable, and they seem very responsive when you're running on the trail. Now, the unfortunate thing is that here we are in November in Calgary, and we have some snow on the ground, which is not a big deal, but the upper on these are quite breathable. I get really cold feet easily, so unfortunately I won't be able to use these in anything below 0 degrees. I tried them and my feet actually got cold because, you know, I'm old and I just get cold feet, literally cold feet. So I won't be able to use these until it gets a little bit warmer around here. And I can't wait to try them out on some longer runs in the mountains. That's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. And maybe by now, if you hit this point, consider hitting that subscribe button. And make sure you get outside. Peace, everyone. As Eugene is taking a drink and I'm trying to film the video, but it's part of all the fun of YouTube without having an actual studio. And he must be really thirsty because he's taking a long drink. And he's still going. Okay, he's done now.